Tell me now, what is your mission with the Love Foundation and creating the Global Love Day?
The mission?
Well, what is your intention with all this, and what is the mission of the Love Foundation?
The Love Foundation really came to me as an idea and a meditation, and it was one of those striking moments in life where, in a way, plans, ideas, dreams had all come to an abrupt halt. Everything that I had been working on came to an abrupt halt, and I didn't quite understand, fully why that was happening. And so I sat in meditation once, and I sat down, and I kind of, in my inner cute little way, I said to the universe, I'm not getting up until you tell me what I'm really here to do. Be careful what you ask for, because in about 45 minutes into the meditation, I got the 3 words, the Love Foundation. I also got what I often say is the energetic present that comes with it. In other words, those 3 words had the beginning, the middle, and the end of its entire potential. I came abruptly out of my meditation and said to myself, you've got to be kidding. Because at that particular moment, the overwhelming sense of what the Love Foundation could represent and its global reach was far greater than anything I had ever considered or conceived of. It took about a year before we launched it as a nonprofit, but by that time it was very clear that our simple vision was to inspire people to love unconditionally. And it is a very simple vision. We are doing a very organic, very flexible, very fluid way of approaching what we're doing. We are certainly a 501c3, we're a nonprofit, we're good in the graces of, the IRS and everybody else that, wants to see us as an organization. And at the same time, we're using all of the wisdom inherent with what we've all come to learn as a way to shape this organization. In other words, it's really an organization that has no organization. It's really a band of volunteers around the world, and really beyond even saying volunteers, it's really connecting with people who share the same idea of inspiring people to love unconditionally, and realizing that that is a unifying principle. So launching the Love Foundation was really to create a platform where we could just simply share this simple vision. And over the years, what we have found, especially through the internet, we were fortunate to launch it in 2000, right about the time that the internet took off in a very big way. And we've had our website up and we've grown, and then Global Love Day, which came to me at the end of 2003, was really an answer to the idea of inspiring people to love unconditionally. For those first couple of years, I often asked myself, how do you do this? It's a really great vision, it's a very simple vision, but exactly how do you inspire people to love unconditionally? Yeah. In Global Love Day, I woke up at 2 o'clock one morning with the whole idea of Global Love Day for May 1st, and that love begins with me, and it was really, truly an answer to that question, because when we decided immediately to launch it, we now had yet another platform, another framework within which to encourage people and connect with people, and really in this case, in a way, create a universal holiday. We really don't have one holiday for the planet that we all share. New Year's is different calendars, and not everybody, and only about 1/5 of the population on the planet of the near 7 billion believe in Christianity, so Christmas is really a very minor thing in the big scheme of things. We don't really have anything that celebrates our humanity, and Global Love Day now, as it goes into its 7th year next year, has really been an expression of that. It's an opportunity for all of us to simply recognize that we're all in it together, that all of the diversity that makes up this beautiful planet is also one planet of one people. And so, following the simple vision, we've been letting the experiences kind of help us evolve our programs to share the inspiration, and then, quite honestly, a lot of the inspiration is what comes back to us when we start to find and connect with people. For example, the African nations. A huge surprise to us was the response from the African nations. To this day, after launching Global Love Day, the African nations are, without a doubt, one of the biggest groups within the total group of all the people that we've connected to on the planet. And it warms my heart every day that I get an email from somebody in one of these African nations who's just stumbled across our website synchronistically and completely fallen in love with us because we are answering what they've always felt in their heart. We are the organization that they've always searched for but could never find. And they also see that the power of unconditional love is going to be the thing that actually brings about the healing and the change that most of them are so desperate for in these, for example, African nations. I mean, what some of our connections, and then even more fortunate, we have some volunteers being coordinators for us. What they're doing in African nations truly is an amazing undertaking, considering what many of them are up against with their dictatorships, their genocide, the AIDS pandemic, the female genital mutations, all the various things that they contend with, the tribal wars and everything. And yet we have young and old saying we want to approach it differently. We want to unify. We want to bring love not only into our community but into our country. It is truly an amazing experience to witness and to see that there's such courageousness around the world, far more than you'll ever see in the newspaper. I'm very privileged in that sense.
Pretty amazing. Really, really moving and touching. To definitely, I can see how it was needed. Such a universal organization, sharing all this love and beauty around the world. How did that manifested in the physical world? Is there some new association, group of people coming together? How did that manifest? What did that love manifested?
When we did the first Global Love Day, it was quite fascinating because it was all brand new to us, and we were simply wanting to share the idea and the concept. And we went out to various individuals, organizations around the world and made contact with them and let them know about Global Love Day. And then we in turn, shared not only that we have 6 tenets on our main flyer that we share that really is universal truths, timeless truths, but really talking about our respect and awareness of diversity, for example, our interconnectedness, interdependence. These 6 tenets also became the basis of proclamations, which we then went out and shared to governmental leaders, primarily here in the U.S. originally, but we sent it to mayors and governors and city councils. And in that first Global Love Day, it was really quite fascinating. From having started initially really in December, by February, we already had our first country coordinator, a lady in Kenya, and right thereafter we had a gentleman in Nigeria who wanted to be a coordinator. And these were ideas that we had never even conceived of. They approached us. And then we had people who were just, like the Global Love Day logo that we use was sent to us in December, late December, early January, from a lady in Wales who had found out about Global Love Day and just decided to create this and send it to us. And so I realized we don't have anything, and we've just decided to use it every year because we so enjoy its original intention. The flyer, people started to send us translations. We have never asked for anything that you really see connected to our website. These have all been experiences of people coming to us and saying, here, I choose to give you this. How can I help do that? And then, of course, come Global Love Day, as we're just sharing in the first few months, and already we had some 20 or 30 events around the world that people were staging, where they were gathering their family, or they were going out in groups, or in some of the African nations, people were going as groups to hospitals to help clean up things and meet with the children and bring little gifts. We had some people stage little concerts. I remember distinctly one young lady writing and saying that she was going to spend Global Love Day hiking in the French mountains. And every one of them was such a beautiful expression, because it was, our goal again is not to tell people what they should be doing for Global Love Day. Our goal is to actually encourage them to create something unique and special that means something to them. We give ideas, certainly, but our real hope is that people come up with very unusual creative expressions and experiences. And certainly now, having done this 6 years, that's exactly what has happened. It can be a little disconcerting at first for people that find us, and they're used to saying, like, well, what do I do? How do I do it? And it's like, well, that's the beauty of it. Follow your heart. You'll find a very beautiful expression in your heart that will be natural to yourself and then to your group. And anybody can go out on the pages on our website and they can see just literally hundreds of pictures of experiences of things that people have created for Global Love Day. the events that they'll send us the pictures to afterwards. And then we also have for the proclamations, we started that just by putting it out to mayors and governors in the U.S. In the first year, we had 12 come Global Love Day. The very first one coming from Salt Lake City. Again, a very unexpected opportunity. And I can remember doing the interviews for that because it was signed in the mayor's office, and the local press picked up on it, and they called me and said, your mayor just did this, and they were poking fun at the mayor, and they were poking fun at Global Love Day because they thought it was all just cute and funny and, not of any real consequence. And yet each one of them ended their interview with their last line saying, well, all fun aside, this is really what we need. We need more love on the planet. And that has been the expression year after year, and it keeps growing by us simply encouraging and then allowing people to participate the way they choose to participate naturally. I think that's a much more fundamentally viable approach than, say, if we were out dictating every step of the way.
Yeah. And what would be your message today, Harold, to people that are viewing this video and that came that far into the interview and that are probably as moved and touched and inspired as I am right now listening to your words? I have literally tears in my eyes coming from so much love that I could feel and sense here in this conversation. And what would be your message to people viewing right now?
Well, for anyone viewing, the message I would share is just simply realize that you are loved, you're lovable, and you're capable of loving. I think that is the key message that we all seek in our life on this planet, and it's the one that we always expect someone to tell us, and yet it is really something we have to tell ourselves. And certainly it's my great joy to be able to share that statement and say to someone, you are loved. The next step is to realize that you are also loving and capable of loving, that it really is within us. There is nothing, absolutely nothing in us that is less than worthy of love. And if we can accept and embrace absolutely every aspect of ourselves, just simply love ourselves for who we are, that will make and does make, changes the world. I can't even say makes a change in the world. It literally changes the world. For every person out there that can accept themselves and embrace themselves absolutely, unconditionally, whether they look in the mirror or they just simply give themselves a big bear hug, just realize that they are love, and that from there magic happens.
Peace for the world.
Yes, because love automatically has peace within it. And for many of the peace people, they lack the peace. And yet when we're truly and genuinely, and it is a very honest pathway, because we have to be honest with ourselves, when we can truly and genuinely, honestly accept ourselves for who we are, then we will naturally accept everyone for who they are. And instantly peace is made manifest.
Thank you so much, Harold. Thank you so much for this interview and sharing all this love.
Always a joy. Thank you.
Thank you.